Nintendo seems to be doing exactly what I thought they would be doing with the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch 2, based on a recent interview with Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa in the Nikkei. Now, there are some things that the Nintendo Switch will be able to accomplish when it comes to this year and next year with software. We've got Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Super Mario RPG, Princess Peach Showtime, and many other titles coming out this year and next year. But what is the transition going to be like? How are they going to support the system when the next one is out? How long are they going to support the Switch afterwards? Well, this is something that Shuntaro Furukawa has shed a bit of light on, and we are going to discuss this and how it affects yourself and the Nintendo Switch 2 in the future, plus the Nintendo Switch, of course, that we're all playing or have or want to get. Now, we also have that plus some other big information to go over when it comes to Nintendo Switch titles and RPGs. But before we get into all that, what's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and click that notification bell for the best Nintendo Switch and RPG news out there. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into this because there was a big interview from the Nikkei publication in Japan, and in an interview with Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa, he did reconfirm their commitment to the Nintendo Switch with software for the next fiscal year ending March 2025. He also stated that they're constantly researching and developing hardware. So essentially, this is a lot of PR speak combined with being a president of a company. This statement might leave some to believe, oh my gosh, they're going to keep on supporting the Switch to 2025, so no new system until then. But that's not actually the case. Now, the fiscal year, when it comes to software for 2025, that's any game that's from the end of March or April all the way to the following year. So Nintendo's already detailed games they're going to come out in that fiscal year for 2025. For example, there is a game like Luigi's Mansion 2, the Dark Moon HD, the port, that's coming out summer 2024. You also have Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door, the remake, that's coming out sometime in 2024. And I'm pretty sure that Nintendo has a couple games or so that could be launching in 2024 or maybe even early 2025 after the Nintendo Switch 2 system, or even cross-gen games. And I think that that's where what I've been talking about comes into play. Exactly what I've been talking about and how Nintendo is going to dual support these systems. Now, it is widely believed that the Nintendo Switch 2 will launch in 2024, and I am a believer that it will launch in sometime 2024. Probably mid to late 2024. So I do think that having games on the standard Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2 will be a move that Nintendo plays. Now, this is something that is very different from what Nintendo's done in the past. Usually Nintendo will launch a new system and they might have a cross-gen game like The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess or like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. But usually after that, it is done for that last generation system. But with the Nintendo Switch, you have so many buyers on there. You have so many people still using the platform, and you also have an online ecosystem that's more advanced than anything that they did before with the Wii U or the Wii or anything like that. With the DS, 3DS and all that, you have people that are still buying games on there like crazy, and you have a whole NSO service as well that has consistent income coming in every single month. So dumping the Nintendo Switch isn't as easy as it was before in the past, or simply just letting it go because of that massive install base, where in the past, a lot of times by the time that Nintendo's ready to get their next system out, man, that current system is done. It is dead. People are ready to move on. And the Nintendo Switch, it's not dead at all. People are not 100% ready to move on. Now, a lot are when it comes to Nintendo Switch, but there are tons, millions of gamers that are fine with their Nintendo Switch and will probably need quite a number of new games in order to get them to upgrade to the next system. So I do feel that Nintendo is in a unique position, but it's not a bad position to be in. It's the same thing that we saw before with the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, even PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. That's probably more accurate, would be PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, or even the Xbox One to Xbox Series. We did see it a little bit from the Xbox to Xbox 360, some cross-gen games, some support that continued on. But at the end of the day, I think that Nintendo can support both systems, at least for a bit. through that fiscal year 2025. I mean, I do think that it's going to happen. Like, I think that Nintendo will support it all the way till then. And then after that, they'll kind of evaluate and see how things go and if they want to continue the support for the standard Nintendo Switch outside of NSO and just like updates for certain games if they want to update something, or cross-gen titles. So to me, it's actually a good move that this is the case. You want to still supply people with those Nintendo Switch games if you can get them out there. The cross-gen formula is something that works. I think that this also kind of leads more to believe, to me at least, that there's backwards compatibility to where you're going to be able to pick up a game and you're going to be able to play it on the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 for the games that have already came out and some of the games that have already been announced. And then they're going to have the exclusives, or at least some exclusives, for the Nintendo Switch 2. There's the rumors floating around, or more like the theories floating around, about the buttons that Game Explain did for Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door and in Super Mario RPG, that many people lead to believe that, hey, you're going to be able to play these games on the next Switch, and they do change a bit with the Joy-Cons or the new controller for the Nintendo Switch 2 when it comes to those Famicom buttons. So there is a lot to be excited for. There's a lot to look forward to. And I think that Nintendo, with Shuntaro Furukawa at the helm, man, this guy is playing it when it comes to his strengths and what he does well. He's not trying to be anybody else that he isn't. I think Nintendo's trying to shoot straight here when it comes down to it. And I think that when they reveal this new system, it is going to be an efficient, good system with good features. I think that there's going to be some gimmicks here and there, but it's not going to be anything that's too over the top or too crazy that you can't just sell the singular message of what you're trying to do with this hybrid system based off of the information that we've gotten from sources like VGC and Eurogamer, guys that have been incredibly accurate when it comes to rumors before, especially Eurogamer with their Nintendo Switch reports, or Nintendo NX at the time, compared to what Nintendo said once they revealed it in October of 2016. So I think that Nintendo's going to go forward with this plan. You're going to see cross-generation games, which I've talked about before. You're going to see backwards compatibility, which I've discussed before. I'm thinking, I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. And Nintendo is then going to evaluate things as they go on, and of course, phase it out and get to Nintendo Switch 2 content. But I think it's going to be a nice little mix at the beginning. I think that it's going to help with people moving over to the next system. And it's just something overall that Nintendo's done a number of times, with the Game Boy to the Game Boy Color, with the Game Boy Color to the Game Boy Advance, with the Game Boy Advance to the Nintendo DS, from the DS to the 3DS. Obviously, you have the GameCube to the Wii, Wii to the Wii U. When it comes to a format and graphics processors and stuff that you're already using or that you're familiar with, Nintendo is good at providing that, and they've done it before in the past. How they actually get it done and what enhancements and what they do with that is yet to be known, but I do think that that will be there, and there's really no reason to 100% dump the Nintendo Switch once the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out, because there still will be a sizable install base, just like the PlayStation 4 was to the PS5, Xbox One to the Xbox Series. So interesting times ahead for sure. But let's get into some interesting things here when it comes to Batman Arkham Trilogy on the Nintendo Switch. We've got a delay on our hands here, pretty much a whole month or so when it comes down to it, actually over a month. So publisher Warner Bros. Games has delayed Batman Arkham Trilogy from its previously planned October 13th release date to December 1st. It will be available for the Nintendo Switch here. Yamatsu does right. So Batman Arkham Trilogy includes Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, and Batman Arkham Knight, with all previously released downloadable content from all three titles. Each title was ported by Turn Me Up Games. Now here's the full statement from Warner Bros. And the official Batman account. Batman Arkham Trilogy for the Nintendo Switch will now launch on December 1st, 2023. More time is needed to bring players the best possible experience on Nintendo Switch. We apologize to fans who are excited to play this version of the trilogy. Thank you for your patience. So one thing that we've seen with Batman games before, or at least all the different franchise games that we've seen before, sometimes they need to take more time to make these games. Then we saw it with Gotham Knights, how there was a PS4, Xbox One version. They canceled that. PS5, Xbox Series. that struggled. I think that got delayed as well. We saw this with the PC version of some of like the old Batman games on the Xbox 360 and PS3. We saw there was issues there with the Trilogy as well. So I do think that there was definitely something a little bit suspect when it comes to how they were handling this, what footage they were showing, and now there is a delay. Now, the one thing that people were worried about was Batman Arkham Knight, because that game really pushes the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 to the brink when it comes down to it. Some even say that the game looks better than the PS5 and Xbox Series Gotham Knights. So I think that's probably where they might be having some issues with. Who knows, there could be some other game-breaking bugs or glitches that they weren't able to fix in time, because it's supposed to launch, like, what was it, this week or next week or something like that? It's supposed to launch, yeah, like next week or so, whatever the case is, as of the time that I'm recording this video. Yeah, next week, next Friday. So the fact that they decided to hold on to this, there was definitely something that was tragic that was happening, and they couldn't fix it in time. They couldn't get it in that day one update, so they had to delay it. And you give yourself quite a bit of time to do so, because it's not like it's just 1 month to November 13th. It's 1 month and then a number of weeks after that. So give yourself the time that you need to make sure that you don't have the same situation that's went down with another big third-party game that released, and that was Mortal Kombat 1. Very different circumstances and situation, but at the same time, you don't want that problem. There's also been other games that have launched in terrible states on the Nintendo Switch, like Alan Wake, and they need to take extra time to finish it. So yeah, it's one of those things where I have no problem with this delay. And on top of that, there's too many freaking games in October anyway. We've already got Alan Wake, we've already got Assassin's Creed, there already is Super Mario Bros. Wonder, there's Spider-Man 2, there's Sonic Superstars, there's Disgaea. Like, there are so many games in October. I actually do not mind that this one was delayed out of there, and I think it's actually better for me, because I don't know what I'm going to be playing on December 1st overall, because that's after Super Mario RPG, that's after a lot of the November games as well. So it puts it in a pretty good spot if you think about it compared to all the previous games that were coming. So what do you guys think about that? Of course, let me know in the comment section below. And then we have one more topic to go over, because we have a brand new Persona 3 Reload hero trailer, and the game looks just as good and just as stunning as ever when it comes down to it, because, you know, Persona 3 Reload is one of those games that there are so many good things about the game in terms of what they're doing here. It looks phenomenal. They're adding in some stuff as well to the mechanics of the battle system and what they're doing, but they're also missing some things as well from previous versions of the game. So some fans are saying, while it's the best looking version of Persona, it might not be the definitive version of Persona, as that Persona FES also had a lot of content that won't be in this one, and of course Persona 3 Portable as well. But this new hero trailer looks awesome. You see more new gameplay, you see it kind of detail the hero of Persona 3 and what you can expect. The animations and everything are right in tune here, and the trailer is awesome. It's just a great trailer overall. The game is due out in February of next year, February 2nd to be exact, coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, PC via Steam, and you have the Microsoft Store as well. Plus, it'll be available on Game Pass. I know some of you guys upset no Switch version, but let's see what shakes out with the Nintendo Switch 2 when it comes down to Persona 3 Reload. They saw how much money they made with Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5 on the Nintendo Switch, so I'm not too worried about that when it comes to Nintendo platforms, and maybe get a better experience when it comes to the Switch 2 if they decide to do that, which I think that they will. But overall, still excited. I'm copping Persona 3 Reload on the PlayStation 5, hands down. Like, I think this game's going to be incredible on there. I'm looking forward to playing it. So what are your thoughts on all these different topics? We went over a lot of different stuff. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and we will see you for the next one. Peace.